Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital. Welcome back to the Rekt Capital channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video about Bitcoin's price predicament on the weekly time frame. We're going to be talking about a few key levels and what this latest recovery means in the overall perspective of this past downtrend that we've been seeing for the past few months, really. In fact, since around November, we've seen 3 full months of red monthly candles, and this February is the first green candle that we've seen in a while. Of course, this month has only just started, but it's just great to see a green monthly candle finally appear after multiple months of extended downside. So what is this recent recovery? Is it a long-term full reversal, or is this just relief? We're going to be talking about that in more detail in today's video, but first, a quick message from our sponsor. Our sponsor for today's episode is Ledn.io. Ledn offers a wide variety of financial services for long-term holders of digital assets. Ledn helps you do more with your Bitcoin through their Bitcoin savings accounts, their Bitcoin-backed loan program, and their B2X program. Their Bitcoin savings accounts let you earn 9.25% on your USDC and 6.25% on your Bitcoin. With their Bitcoin-backed loan program, you can take out a stablecoin or dollar loan off of your Bitcoin, which is a much more tax-efficient way to keep your Bitcoin exposure while gaining dollar liquidity. And through Ledn's B2X program, you can double your exposure to the Bitcoin you already own. Check out the link below in the description and do more with your Bitcoin today. Awesome, let's dive right into the video. We're going to be focusing first on this range because this is where the most action has been happening in 3 distinct periods. First of all, Q1 of 2021 is where we consolidated in between the range of 28,000 to 38,600. This is essentially the macro reaccumulation range of 2021, specifically Q1, Q2, where we saw a rejection and a rejection here as well, but ultimately a breakout that was confirmed. And we're going to be talking about these breakouts, these green circles in a bit more detail. But what I want to emphasize first of all is that we tend to see consolidation inside this 28 to 38,000 region. And we saw a bit of consolidation here as well, but price didn't actually reach the bottom of that range. It didn't reach the range low of that range. In fact, if you focus on these candle bodies and these candle bodies, you'll notice that there is a distinct higher low forming here. So even though Bitcoin reached this range, it didn't dive deep into the range. And in fact, it formed a higher low, which is a really positive sign because also we need to focus on how it exited that range. And to focus on that, we need to focus first on these green candles, or at least the green circles. So there are 2 weekly candles that are most important when denoting this confirmed breakout from that 28 to 38 region. Over here, we saw an upside wick, and then that retesting candle where we turned this range high resistance of 38,000 into a new support before springboarding higher. The same thing happened here. We saw an upside wick in that first weekly candle followed by a retest of the same region, turning that old resistance into a new support before springboarding higher. And right over here, we actually saw the strongest ever candle. When comparing these 3 distinct phases, we saw the strongest ever candle. Look at this green candle with very little upside wicking compared to the upside wicking right over here. So we've been able to generate more of a sustained breakout. And in fact, we haven't really seen any pulling back into the 38K region at all. And this is, of course, something that we might be able to expect because that's what's happened in the past. Breakout and then retest of that same resistance, breakout, then retest of that same resistance before moving on to the next resistance, which is the 43,100 region. You can see that we broke out quite nicely beyond it on the first try. On the second try, we got a retest attempt, so weekly close above that level or above the black level. Retest attempt, and then further upside inside this black to black region. And what we're doing at the moment is we've entirely skipped this dipping scenario into the red 38k region. We've actually gone for this step, essentially speaking. Bitcoin is now trying to retest the black level as a support first. So it skipped a pivotal step, and a rejection from here could be possible. But if Bitcoin is able to weekly candle close above 43,100, the black level here, it's going to repeat most likely this technical feat where we see a rebound inside this range. And by the same token, that would mean that Bitcoin has confirmed a break back into the range, that is the 43,100 to 52 region. So we'd see some consolidation right over here. So essentially, we have seen minimal consolidation in this region, and we've broken back into this range, which is a really unsustainable range because in the past we've seen very little consolidation here. In fact, it's just been upside movement in the past. So this very tight, very narrow, unsustainable range isn't conducive to any consolidation. In fact, we just see upside from here. So if Bitcoin is able to weekly close and turn this 43,100 region into a support, then we're going to ascend into a much higher, much wider range, which we'll see consolidation inside. And of course, that consolidation is going to be more sinusoidal and more wider in its amplitude. So we're probably going to see consolidation, but by the same token, quite strong moves because this range, is much more wide compared to this unsustainable narrow range. And what I mean by unsustainable is that we tend to see volatile price action in this range. We can't see contained, narrow, boring consolidation because this is unsustainable, which leads to volatility. Price compression precedes volatility, and we're seeing that right now. So at this point in time, are we going to get a weekly candle close above this level to break back into this range, or are we actually going to get a weekly close below this level, reject from this resistance, and tumble back down into the red area for that vital retest attempt like we've seen in the previous green circles? Either scenario is a good one because whether or not we need that necessary technical dip for that retest to take place before further upside and once again challenging to break back into this region, or whether or not we just break back into this region once again without that necessary dip. Either or, it looks like we're going to see trend continuation on this recent recovery, and the most important thing, should we get that dip, is this retest attempt. That region needs to hold as a new support, because if we do tumble back into this range, that could mean that we've just seen a fake out, and that would be a really bad sign of strength, or rather lack thereof. So really important to see price strength stability at this region. Should a dip take place, we need to see weekly higher time frame confirmation to see this level turn into support to break back into this range. In any case, that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you did, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.